There is a production company. They are Candor Productions, and they are releasing a documentary on the Slater case. I don't know whether they've made it already, but where do they get that information from? I think we can guess, can't we? I think we can. Yeah. Also, I wanted to discuss also the CCTV, the possible hidden CCTV. If you want to hear a bit more, then grab that drink, pull up a chair, carry on working, carry on driving, but use that hands-free. And welcome to Aldon's Reviews and True Crime. So forgive me, Candor, for being sceptical, but I fear that this documentary, from what I can read, and you can read it, read some of the comments here. They're not too complimentary, are they really? And perhaps they are going to slag off and tar everyone with the same brush who produces an information service really online. So content creators have gathered, and viewers have gathered lots of information, lots of suspicions about this case, as well as many other cases. We all get tarred with the same brush and labelled as armchair detectives. Even actual detectives out there, probably MWT gets labelled. Well, he used to be a detective, didn't he, for a year? I don't know, but he gets labelled as well as a conspiracy theorist, I would imagine. I think that you've got to listen carefully to what they say, because if they say anything that isn't true, then they're producing something online that's not true as well. They're slagging somebody off and causing alarm and distress. You could probably use a solicitor, no win, no fee, and target the production company if they target you in particular, or us. Just keep an eye on that, because that could be libelous. They could tell untruths and something that put somebody in a bad light. So keep an eye out for that. But they're going on the what the coroner says about injuries caused by an accident, and they're 100% on that. They can't be 100% on that because it's a head injury. I don't think the documentary is going to look at all the surrounding information. They're probably going to pull out the more diverse information about the Maruba. Maybe the Maruba is not diverse, but in my view, they're going to pull out something like that, I would imagine. They're not going to look into all the things that we've looked into that are suspicious. They're probably not going to delve into the possible illegal activities that Mark Williams Thomas talks about. He's adamant that Ahab and Rocky were involved in illegal activities, and also Jay and some of the other witnesses that he's targeted and said that they were definitely involved in illegal activities, and it was hard to tell the family about that. So I don't know whether they're going to looking on that they're going to produce that, or whether it's just going to be a slaughter for these so-called online detectives. I don't know whether they're going to look at the cover-ups from the witnesses, and we already know Brandon. Just an example: Brandon saying he didn't know Ihab. Lucy said he didn't know Ihab, didn't know their names. Ihab said he didn't know Stephen Rockus's. Didn't want to give information on his mate who he was with, and his mate was just sleeping. Whether they're going to target that or not, I don't know. They're not going to be able to look into the phone data. They're not an authority, so they're just a production company. So I don't know. I just get a feeling from what's written down on the statement that was produced, Candor are going to open everything up, and they think the armchair detectives are upsetting the family, etc., etc. So I don't know. But we'll watch this space. Channel 4 haven't put out information of when this is going to be on, because there's an ongoing inquest. There's information that's coming out. There's an investigation pending. Surely you'll wait till after the investigation. Then you'll know whether everything that comes out is fact or not, or evidence, etc. Rather than now, it's going to be a bit wishy-washy and a bit one-sided. Also, just wanted to pick up the article said, I don't know whether it's so, but knowing a bit about production companies and also platforms that the production companies use, it said Channel 4 has said Candor they want them to produce this documentary. That doesn't really happen like that. The production company normally have to beg the platform provider. They make the documentary and then they beg the platform provider to put that onto their platform, to film it and then put it onto the platform of the provider. I gather Channel 5 was looked at before Channel 4 for this documentary, but apparently it's Channel 4 that's platforming the production company's production. I've seen some very good production companies. Candor look pretty good, and I've also seen some quite amateurish production companies who also put things on platforms. I've also seen some amateur reporters, some good, some bad, and they use the platform of a newspaper, say the Sun newspaper, to produce something and then put it as this is a Sun reporter, etc. So yeah. So we'll see. We really want a non-biased approach. If we do get shown in a bad light, that's defamation of character, isn't it? So we'll see. Right, switching over to the CCTV. This is a bit hearsay again. I haven't got any information on it. I was pretty suspicious about CCTV, about there wasn't enough being produced. There was some being produced which showed kind of unclear figures, but they look like figures of the witnesses involved in the J. Slater case, by the bins, etc. The square. I thought that CCTV would have been hidden by some of the mayors or one of the mayors, because he doesn't want to put his area in a bad light and he still wants to attract tourists and tourism. So he's not going to show CCTV of some dodgy operations going on or some untoward behaviour towards Jay Slater or violence or anything like that. So that's my suspicion, but it's just a suspicion. Apparently there's hearsay saying that there is CCTV and it's going to get released to one of the creators and it's going to be online for everyone to see. It's also going to get released first to the authorities, to the police. British police probably better rather than Guardia, because the Guardia, we know what the reputation of the Guardia is, because MWT states that they turned a blind eye to most illegal activity. I gather the locals are pretty upset and fed up at the moment about the authorities just turning a blind eye of suspicious deaths happening here, there and everywhere in Tenerife as well as the other islands, and they're getting a bit fed up with the Guardia turning a blind eye to this. So CCTV. Well, that would change things, wouldn't it? What do you think? Put down in the comments if CCTV came out with some other witnesses, or maybe not the witnesses that we know, maybe new witnesses that come out, or new suspects that come out, and it's a bit clearer. Wouldn't that turn the case on its head? Put down in the comments what you think. Anyway, just a short video. Hopefully that was a short video. It was just something on my mind, and yeah, I hope the microphone's all right. It starts off okay and it gets a bit crackly. I think the lights have something to do with the crackle as well. I don't know. Maybe it's time for mic number 16 to be bought. But I hope everybody's well in the UK at the moment. The heat is goes from one extreme to another. We don't get a nice 22 degrees. We get like a 29, 30 degrees, don't we? And it becomes too hot. But I'm not moaning. This morning was a funny old game, wasn't it? Early morning it was very bright and sunny, and then it got to a bit of rain, bit of cloud. I wouldn't say chilly, but the temperature dropped, and then it went back up again this afternoon. Anyway, that's the Weatherman report, over and out. Oh, and remember, as always, when you do lay your head down tonight, don't have any nasty dreams. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and Candor, if you're watching, check with me first what you're going to put out, because I'd like to answer any rubbish that you put out there. That's defamation of character. Everybody band together on that one. But I could be wrong. The documentary could be open-minded. It could look at all the suspicions we know about, and it could look at the pending investigation, hopefully by the police. And remember the big one, if you're watching, Candor, are the phones and the phone data. That would open up a whole can of worms. It would also maybe make clearer if it was an accident, if Jade did fall off that ravine. It would make it all clearer. Check all the phone data, and then there we go. Make it a lot clearer, and perhaps we would accept that it was an accident. Nothing else happened illegal around that case. Job done. Thank you for watching.